And welcome to the Los Alamitos preview show. And we're here on the big weekend, Michael, joined by track announcer Michael Wrona here. And this is Orlando Gutierrez. Just stepping up, pinch hitting here for our regular host, Jose Contreras. He's vacationing in beautiful Cabo San Lucas. Mike, wouldn't we like to be there as well, joining him?
Yes, I knew he was taking a well-earned break. I did not know the destination. Well, good for the Contreras family. I'm sure they're having a wonderful time.
Absolutely. And he'll be joining us. He did put together a video clip letting us know who his selection is in the big race, the Los Alamitos Oaks. That's on Saturday, of course. First post on Saturday, 6:05 p.m. And, of course, a big weekend of action in addition to the Los Alamitos Oak on Sunday. Michael, we also have the El Primero Del Año Derby on Sunday night. And on Saturday, a big carryover as well, over $28,000 in the Pick Six. So it should be a really good pool going into Saturday's program for the Pick Six.
Yes, that'll begin with race 4 as we have a 9-race card on Saturday, culminating in what will be the richest ever running of the Los Alamitos Oaks. I just feel a little bit sorry, Orlando, for the fillies who are going to be appearing and competing in this very prestigious race, the Los Alamitos Oaks, because they'll be playing second fiddle. Let's just face it. Let's be honest about it. They'll be having the spotlight taken off them a little bit because of the debut of a 2-year-old named Professor G. How good is that?
Professor G, that's right, Michael. He is going to be one of several horses, of several juvenile horses that will be making their racing debut here at Los Alamitos on Saturday. And let me see if I can scroll down to that particular race here on Los Alamitos. Here's one of them, race number 5. This is the first of 3 races for the juveniles. And there's Professor G. And look at Ed Burgard, making him 4-1 on the morning line. This runner trained by Charles Treese. Thanks so much, Eddie Burgard. And I thought the horse had a pretty decent workout last out, 12:70. He kind of broke in a little bit, but did show some run here at Los Al. $11,000 purchase by Jerry Stojan at the Los Alamitos Equine Sale. But a solid group. I think, obviously, number 2, Odd One, is going to be the horse to beat. The mare, Quirky, a champion, AQHA champion, multiple Grade 1 winner as well here at Los Alamitos. So looking forward to race number 5. We also have a nice handicap race. There's race number 6, the 60 Chick overnight handicap in a solid field of fillies. And, of course, just one of the many races that Los Alamitos has added for the filly division. Here's the 6 of them. By the way, 60 Chick won the Fabergé Special Effort Futurity in 1984. Michael, the winning owner, R.D. Hubbard. But what do you think of this race?
Yeah, it's a nice little supporting stakes race, isn't it? You get some horses that attempted to qualify to the Los Alamitos Oaks, weren't quite among the fastest 10, and a couple that have not been seen for a little while, but it's a very talented cast in that supporting stakes race, and quite an honor for you to have a horse named for your good self.
Thank you so much, Michael. And like you were saying, each one of these fillies coming off of a stakes trial, 4 of them coming off of the of a trial to the Los Alamitos Oak, 2 of them coming out of a futurity trial hitters count. I think this horse will be pretty solid in this race, even though she has not raced since September 12th, coming off of 350-yard gate work, 18-4. Let's keep looking down here, Michael. There's race number 7. Here's a nice field of 7 2-year-olds. Number 7, Itinerary, out of a tremendous mare, eye-popping. She is the mother of All-American Derby winner Instigator, a horse that has earned over $1 million, of course, winning the All-American Derby and continuing to have a tremendous season last year. The sire, DuPonte, multiple Grade 1 winner as well. Here's race number 8, 6 of them here. Muy Bien Corona is coming off of a really terrific work, 12-3 on March the 5th, and the big favorite 6-5 in this one. And now we get to the main event, Michael. There it is. Race number 9, the Grade 3 Los Alamitos Oaks with a record purse for this race, $438,500. The morning line favorite, Just Dream of Me, also the fastest qualifier at 9.25. This horse was paid late into the Los Alamitos Oaks and worth every penny of that price, Michael, because she qualified with the fastest time. What do you think about this race?
Well, she was in the first of 4 trials with the strongest tailwind. So that might have perhaps exaggerated slightly the fact that she was the fastest qualifier, but she overcame so much trouble at the start and was so strong and impressive that even allowing for the diminishing wind across the 4 trials, Orlando, I still marked her down as the most impressive performance on trials night. I think she's strictly the one to beat, having had a very good juvenile season, qualified to a big race at Ruidoso as a 2-year-old. She's a class act, and I think with even luck, Just Dream of Me probably wins the race. But that said, I find it a fascinating race from the standpoint of exotics wagers. There are several horses at good prices that I think have a chance to get amongst the minor placings at the very least.
Well, let's hear about some of those horses, Michael. Who do you think we might be able to kind of put together in a ticket, or maybe even upset Just Dream of Me?
Well, I know Chris Wade in the upcoming segment is going to talk about a horse Unavailable, and I second his opinion that she warrants some consideration. Away from Unavailable, I'm also interested in number 2, Sweet Dash of Fire, who's at 8-1 on Mr. Burgart's morning line. Now, this is a filly who won an Ed Burke Million Futurity trial as favourite at just her second career start. She qualified to the Ed Burke final. She finished her 2-year-old season with her first start at 400 yards when she won a trial to the 2 Million Futurity, but it was not a fast enough time to make that rich, prestigious final. She had 3.5 months off and came into her trial to the Oaks out of gate number 3 in the final of the 4 trials, and we can take a look at that replay. She was in a very close photo finish with She Goes Up, who had gate number 6.
All right, let's see if we can pull that race. All right, Michael, there it is, race number 10, and we can see Sweet Dash of Fire, one of the runners here. Also, She Goes Up is going to be part of this field, and Sweet Dash of Fire will break from post number 3. Before I hit play, what are we going to see here, Mike?
Oh, there was a bump at the start, and Sweet Dash of Fire was lagging a bit in the early stages of the race. The 2-horse starts to shift out, which might have impeded her slightly coming towards the gap. It was a pretty wayward first half of a race, really, for comeback off this 3.5-month layoff. The other horse, She Goes Up, was out of gate 6 with a fairly straight, simple trip. And I liked Sweet Dash of Fire's second half of the race. Once she finally leveled out, straightened up, she was very good. She lost the race by a nose, but I think there's improvement to come second run off the layoff.
All right, let's take a look at race
and
number 10, Sweet Dash of Fire from
the
post
pair.
number 3.
And the rail runner, Relentless Valiant's getting in on the act. Racing! Last Magic Rhythms away quickly in company with Famous Carmelita. Famous Carmelita pings to the early lead. She Goes Up in hot pursuit. Sweet Dash of Fire finishing on well from Being Difficult. Sweet Dash of Fire and She Goes Up. She Goes Up. Sweet Dash of Fire. Close between She Goes Up and Sweet Dash of Fire. Being Difficult might have...
And they finished quite a considerable distance ahead of the third-placed horse. They really dominated that trial. She Goes Up, of course, the Governor's Cup Futurity winner of last season, but she'd had a prep race coming into the trials, whereas Sweet Dash of Fire was off that 3.5-month layoff. So I'm just thinking there might be a room for this filly of Jose Flores to step up, move forward in condition, and I think she's got enough quality and class to be involved in the finish of this race with even luck.
Yeah, 8-1 on Ed Burgart's morning line on Sweet Dash of Fire, so you're going to get a really nice price as well on this extremely well-bred well-bred filly. Not only is she in this race, her half-brother, Dash a Good Reason, will be in action in the El Primero del Año Derby on Sunday as well. So, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Before I let you go here, how about you give me a little bit of some insight on what's happening in European soccer? I know you're a big fan of Manchester United, and when I think of Manchester United, I remember watching them maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They had David Beckham, Paul Scholes, the Neville brothers, Paul Schmeichel. That was the Manchester United that I remember. What's happening with them?
I'd rather not talk about it, mate. They crashed out of the Champions League last week, and I think they're going to struggle to make the top 4 in the English Premier League, which would get them into next season's Champions League. They're 5th at the moment, but there's games in hand for the team above them. So it's been, I think, probably the most disappointing season that I can remember since Sir Alex Ferguson retired almost a decade ago. They've gone through several coaches and haven't found the right formula yet. There's World Cup qualifying games on this weekend. Matter of fact, we're recording on a Thursday afternoon, and there's a big game for Portugal, which has several Manchester United players, including Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes on their team. And it's a must-win game for them against Turkey, which would be over by now, but I'm in record mode. I've only seen the first 10 or 15 minutes so far. So when we finish chatting, mate, I'm going to get back to that and watch some World Cup qualifying action. And poor Australia, struggling mightily to qualify for the World Cup. They've got the job ahead of them. They lost to Japan overnight. Big game for the USA against Mexico tonight, and then another big game for them later into the weekend in qualifying. So I hope at least the US can make it, because I don't think the Aussies will.
Well, it sounds like it's time for the Manchester United to open up those coffers again and go get some new players to that team for next season. Thanks so much, Michael.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Every Saturday and Sunday night, it's major quarter horse racing action at Los Alamitos. On Saturday, March 26th, it's the richest running ever of the Los Alamitos Oaks, with over $438,000 on the line. Top qualifier, Just Dream of Me, takes on stakes winner She Goes Up and Fire Fast Honey. On Sunday, March 27th, Grade 1 stakes winners Golden Boy and Whiskey Glasses headline the El Primero Del Año Derby. It's the best of quarter horse racing, and it's always at Los Alamitos.
And of course, fun with friends, nothing better than that here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. I am now joined by Los Alamitos broadcast host and racing analyst, Chris Wade. What is cooking, Chris?
Well, we got some big races here at Los Alamitos. We got some good-looking 2-year-olds going post for 3 baby races. Of course, we got the Los Alamitos Oaks on Saturday night, along with those baby races. Of course, we got some simulcast race being piped in that I just got finished handicapping a little bit ago. We got taking races 4 through 11 at Remington Park. I think a lot of horses I really like in the 6th event is our top choice. It's a mixed breed race. I had lots of trouble in his last race, so race over the track. Faced a couple that he beat that night, despite having almost 2 lengths of trouble. Beat a length. His name is JB Turnpike. He's 9-2 program, and we'll be lucky if we get probably 5-2 on the horse. Hopefully we'll get that morning line, very generous morning line, but the horse has lots of ability and figures really good in that non-winners of 2 event.
well, for sure, when you focus on a horse at Remington Park, you have your followers that will certainly go along for the ride and often enjoy the profits as well, Chris. So what do you think of the Los Alamitos Oaks here, Chris? Do you have a way to maybe we can make some money in this race?
Well, you got a tough selection, tough horse to beat, tough favorite to beat there, and Just Dream of Me, a horse who was supplemented to this event. That is definitely the horse to beat. The horse did improve in her last race immensely. She won well, despite having a good amount of trouble. She's tough to beat, but a horse that's got a lot of ability that always seems to find trouble. 9 of this horse's last starts, this horse has had, talking about number 4, unavailable there for Don Ferris. This horse has had over a length of trouble, and usually more than that, in 9 consecutive starts. And this horse in that trial for the Oaks did run second despite breaking slow, getting bumped back, and was crossed, angled inside of horses, and flew for second and earned a pretty good figure with everything factored in. This horse has been a W in 7 of her 9 last starts, which means a horse to watch. And this horse could ever break remotely close to the field, could post an upset there at 6-1 morning line. And the ability is there. It's just a matter of getting the gate and running this horse's ability.
All right, so how about we take a look at Unavailable. I remember talking to Dan Farias a few weeks ago, prior to the trials, actually, and he said that he always thought that this was one of his best 2-year-olds. So we're going to take a look
I decide
at Unavailable, race 9.
Coming out of post 3.
Cervantes remounting, zooming for tricks. Unavailable's a bit fidgety in gate 3. Racing. Runaway Witch quickly away in company with Majority Interest, and also Lovely Evening showing good speed with Charisma Vista. Past the gap, it's Majority Interest drawing a long way clear. Near the inside, Unavailable's closing strongly from Lovely Evening, but Majority Interest, an impressive winner. Unavailable second, Lovely Evening third, then Charisma Vista.
Well, very impressive effort from Majority Interest there, but you can see that late run from Unavailable, Chris.
Yeah, the horse got fractures as per usual inside the gate, broke very slow, was bumped back and crossed. I gave the horse approximately like 31, 32 trouble, which equates to over 2 lengths of stride. Angled in for clearance and did finish very, very strongly for a better than look second, galloped out very, very well. As noted, the horse, with everything factored in, earned my second best figure in the trials, and will be our second choice at 6-1. If this horse could ever break remotely close to the field, could post an upset in the Oaks. But we'll have to deal with Just Dream of Me, who earned a very impressive figure, and despite having trouble in her effort, did run very strongly. And that's the one to beat. But Unavailable has the ability, if this horse could ever just break with the field, could post the upset at a nice price.
Chris, let me kind of keep you around here for a little bit, because we have some interviews with several other top trainers here in the Los Alamitos Oaks. We're going to start off with Jose Flores. Here's what Jose Flores had to say about his runners, not only in the Los Alamitos Oaks, because he's got 2 of them, Sweet Dash of Fire, as well as Just Dream of Me, the big favorite. And he also has a couple of runners in the El Primero del Año Derby, Chris. So we're going to kind of go just continuing with all the interviews. We're going to go ahead and just let them roll right now. We'll go ahead and start with Jose Flores, followed by Monty Arrossa. He's settling Fire Fast Honey in the Oaks, won the Kindergarten Futurity last year. And from there, we'll jump right into Cesar de Alba's trainer. Cesar de Alba, he is settling Call It Close, a long shot, 20-1, but a horse that should really like this distance at 400 yards. And then we'll wrap it up with Scott Willoughby, with She Goes Up, and with Paul Jones with Majority Interest, the horse that we just watched this trial. So just stick around, Chris. We'll be back following these interviews. Here with trainer Jose Flores, and the fastest qualifier to the Los Alamitos Oaks right behind you, Jose, Just Dream of Me. And she had a dream of a race on the night of the trials. Broke a little slow just behind them, but then came flying late. Great kick. And she has that experience at 440 yards, so you have to like your chances at 400 yards, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about it being 400 yards for her. You know, obviously she qualified back for the All-American, so her being a filly, right here, she just ended up 11th to get into the 2 million. So just some bad luck, but she didn't make it in. But she's for sure the real thing at 440 yards.
You've had that 3 weeks between the trials and this final here, and for a horse that ran as well as she did in the trials, how do you see that time off helping her or to set her up for the final?
I think it will. I think it'll help her, being 3 weeks, because it gives them more time to come back to recover from everything, and just from the race, and everything. So it gives them more time to recover, and she should be okay. It's just a matter that that they get all their cells back in place,
Yeah. Sweet Dasher Fire also in the final ran in the Edward Million last year.
Yeah.
Ran a really close second to She Goes Up in the trials.
Yeah, she had a lot of trouble also at the start. Sweet Dasher Fire. She was finishing. She finishes super strong. She reminded me so much of her brother. The way they close. And they look so much alike when they're right now. When they're 2 and 3 years old. So I hope that she continues on that path. Just doing what she knows how to do and get some more victories for us.
In the El Primero, you have 2 horses as well.
Yeah.
Dash a Good Reason, out of the same mare as Sweet Dash of Fire. And this horse is one of those things as well. Just want him to break, right? Because he certainly has that strong kick.
Yeah, he broke a lot better last time, and held his own, against Corona Fast Honey and another. I think it was Whiskey.
Yeah.
He ran a good race against them, So we're hoping that he can improve a little bit more and see what happens. There's a lot of stiff competition with Golden Boy being in there, but I think he's one of them. He's that kind. So anything can happen. Every race is different. So we're hoping that he has a good performance for us.
You have another horse in the El Primero as well. A horse looking to deliver a knockout punch here to the top runners.
Yeah. Knockout Cartel. He's a good horse. Last year I thought he was going to be one of our best 2-year-olds, and he ended up tailing off a little bit. Not doing quite as well as we thought he did. But I think he's really mature and becoming the horse that we thought he was going to become since last year. So we're hoping that he'll keep qualifying to these races, and maybe hit, like you said, a big knockout.
You certainly could do it. The talent is all there. You have 4 really good horses going in these big races this weekend. Thanks, Jose.
Yeah, thank you very much.
She had a couple of tough workouts. She, her last workout, she stumbled real bad, and so I was a little nervous going into the trials, but she ran a super trial race, and she got a little short on the end. We're hoping that that's, the race that she needed. She came out of the trial super, and, she's a real fast gate horse. She's going to need to be. It's a really tough competitive field, and, hopefully she'll have some more to go on the end.
She's come back good. She broke a little slow, a little tardy the other day, but ran an okay race in the trials, and I think this will be her second start off the layoff, and I think she'll really improve.
The 400 yards, how does that play into?
Yeah, I think she's a big, long, tall filly with a big stride, and I think she's not the quickest away from the gate, but when she gets motoring, she's running.
Who's be riding her, and how do you see that connection?
Diego's gonna ride her. He's been riding her most of the time. Franco qualified her, but we put Diego back on her, and Diego knows her very well. So we just gotta stay quiet with her. She's kind of hot-tempered kitty up filly, so just keep her quiet, and hopefully she breaks and gets a good path to running, and she'll be right there at the end.
Best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you.
Real quick, Scott, just a victory from She Goes Up, and the last out seemed to do her well, right? She needed that outing.
She did. She needed the out pretty bad. We laid her off after she won the futurity and brought her back. It was getting pretty close, but we were able to get an out in her. It worked out perfect. Unfortunately, tonight they rattled the gate and she false broke a little bit, but she's a good enough filly that she went ahead and won the race. Ran a big race. Yeah, pretty happy with her.
Pretty good battle there in the last 100 yards.
Oh, absolutely. That other horse ran a great race as well, and lucky that we won it.
Thanks so much.
The filly's definitely got some talent. She's got the pedigree to back it up, too. So.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The ownership group, you have Bradbury Racing, Terry Thompson, Robin Gordon, Jimmy Harrell, some outstanding long-time quarter horse owners.
Yes, I mean, it's really a nice group. These are all people that really love horse racing. You know, Terry and me, we've been partners for a long time on a lot of horses, and Jimmy Harrell, he's been a great long-time client, been in the business forever. Really loves racing, and Robin recently got in the business a few years ago, and she's really having fun with it. And Lisa Beaupre, Tom Bradbury's daughter, she's her family and her father Tom was in the business for a long time, and they're really great people. So it's really good to have a group of 4 people that you really like all together in on one horse, and luckily enough it's a pretty nice filly, so hopefully we'll all have some fun with it.
There you have it, Chris. Just a nice roll call of all the top trainers with horses in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Just Dream of Me should love that 400-yard distance after competing at the All-American Futurity last year, a 440-yard race. One trainer that we did not talk to during that segment there was Pat Vischer. She'll saddle Sweet Tess, horse that ran second to just Dream of Me in the trials. What do you think about Sweet Tess going from the rail?
Well, she should have a clear path, the wire. She did have a B++ workout prior to the trial last time, and had a little bit of trouble along the way. She broke a little slow. She brushed and skied, lost about 3/4, almost a length, and was ridden steadily midway, but finished pretty well. And I gave the horse a W, which is a horse to watch, and should have a clear path from the inside, and has a look to grab a slice of the underneath exotic pie at the very least on my numbers. Actually has like a 3rd or 4th best number in this event.
Have you had a chance, Chris, to take a look at the El Primero del Año Derby just after the trials?
I haven't really looked at it yet. I'll be looking at those this evening.
Well, absolutely. Golden Boy, of course, is going to be the big favorite there. And what a night that was on trials night. We had Golden Boy, Watch Out, Whiskey Glasses, all of them, the big names going into the trials, all came and performed big time. We had a chance to talk to Monty Arrossa about Whiskey Glasses, followed by James Glenn Jr. He'll be saddling Watch Out in the El Primero. Let's listen to what they had to say about their big runners going into the El Primero del Año Derby.
His mind's gotten real good. He's matured a lot. The horse, he likes to win. You know, he likes to run. He likes to train. Real happy horse. You know, he's a good gate horse. He's a big horse, but he has a lot of gate speed, and so that's helped him. He ran a super great trial race. He came out of it great. You know, we've studied him at the gate a couple of times and galloped him a couple of times, and you know, he looks good going into the finals. You know, Golden Boy, he's a monster, and there's several others in there that are, you know, very nice horses, and so it, you know, need a lot of luck to win that one.
It's a pretty good group. Yeah, they all seem to bring their game on trial night, and yeah, we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us. But my horse seems to be getting better every race. I think the older he gets, the better he's going to get. That's kind of how that pedigree has always worked. So you know, we don't think he's really reached his full potential, and you know, you line him up, you know, 10 of them. That's why they run him, and you know, if he, I think if he ever gets to that full potential that we're hoping he can reach, you know, we'll see what he can do.
He's had now several races in a row at 400 yards, and you have the time to watch him. What do you see from him going in that distance?
He definitely likes the longer distance, right? He always seems to be closing. You know, his last race, he just kind of broke out on the lead, and Oscar knew he had you know, he just measured him, and he knew he was in front by half, and he just kind of took a cruise in the trials. But in his previous races, you know, he would break pretty good and be a little green mid-pack, and then excel late. So, you know, out of that mare, they all want to close late. He's kind of the same way, and I think as he matures and really focuses and runs from gate to wire, you know, clearly 400 and 440 is going to be his distance.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, Chris, there you have it. Monty Arrossa saddling Whiskey Glasses. He also has Tip of My Tongue and Hallelujah Nights and Favorite Honey as well. So not only does he have Fire Fast Honey in the Oaks, Favorite Honey in the El Primero, those two out of the same mare, Corona Fast Honey. So excellent race going into the El Primero, an excellent weekend. And before I let you go, Chris, how about we hear what the host of this show, the usual host of this show, Jose Los Ponies Contreras, and his top selection in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Guess where he's at, Jose? Chris? Cabo San Lucas. Cabo San Lucas enjoying life there with his beautiful family. So let's see what he has to say about the Los Alamitos Oaks. Here's Jose Contreras and his top selection.
All right, well, I'm not at Los Al. I'm not in my home office. I'm coming to you from the beautiful view of Cabo San Lucas here, aboard a little bit of a vacation here with the bad beat therapist right off camera. But here's my selection for Saturday, race 9, the richest running of the Grade 3 Los Alamitos Oaks. I'm going to go with the number 3 horse, She Goes Up. I thought her last 2 races were great preps off the layoff to get her up to this point. Yes, she did break a bit slow, got bumped, and was lugging in, a little bit difficult to ride, but I think she was still finishing with a good amount of run. I'm just hoping that she's going to break better, keep her straighter path. I mean, Just Dream of Me is the horse to beat, but She Goes Up to me, I think, is coming into this race in a prime spot. So that's my pick in the Los Alamitos Oaks, number 3 horse, She Goes Up. I'll see you out there at Los Al. Check out this view.
She Goes Up. That's his top pick going into this Los Alamitos Oaks. How do you see her fitting into the Oaks against Dream of Me? You got Unavailable, your top choice, just a solid field all around.
Well, She Goes Up, steadily improving. This horse did have a little trouble, broke a little slow getting practice in the gate in her last start in the trial, but did finish fairly well despite skiing a little bit near the wire, and she galloped out pretty well just on light pressure. So pretty solid performance. She figures like around 5th best on my numbers, but steadily improving for the connections and has a look to grab a slice of the underneath exotic pie. At the very least, on my numbers, She Goes Up.
All right. Best of luck to your selections this weekend. Best of luck on your Remington Park pick, as well as Unavailable in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Well, we'll do it for the Los Alamitos preview show. Chris, we'll see you this weekend at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, boss. You too.